Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Haney, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to show you how to walk correctly with hip pain without using a gait aid.
So without a walker, a
Yeah,
cane?
Right. We did it. We're going to do a video in which you do use a walker, cane, or four-wheel walker. But on this one, we're going to show you the ideal thing that you want to do is you want to make sure you're engaging or you're firing off the glute muscles,
Right.
especially the glute max. That's the big muscle that makes up your butt. And we're going to show you how. But first, if you are really limping or experiencing significant pain when you walk, you really probably should use a cane because you're just making things worse. And a lot of times, we're not saying that you have to use it forever.
Right.
We're saying use it until the pain calms down. And maybe also, if you're actually at a higher risk for falling because you're not using a cane or a walker,
Sure.
you should definitely then, because if you fall, obviously your hip pain is going to get worse. But also, you need to strengthen your hip in order to improve your balance.
Right.
So
If you don't know why your hip is hurting or you fell, I mean, make sure you go to the doctor and get things squared away first, to make sure that you're not overlooking a problem. So
yeah, if you want to strengthen your hip, watch our video, how to strengthen a painful hip, and we'll talk about that at the end, how to get to that. Okay, so the gluteus maximus, again, butt muscles. How to tell if they're firing when you're walking. So there's a simple way to do this, Brad. You just walk with your hands on your butt, probably in the privacy of your own home.
yeah.
And when you take a step and hit the ground, you should feel it firing.
In other words, feel it contract and
Yeah.
feel that muscle.
And if it feels like mushy and it's not doing anything, you probably haven't been using your glutes like you should. And the thing about the glutes is to actually help hold the hip in the socket, in place.
Stabilizes
Yeah.
it. Yep.
If it not, it can slide forward and pinch on structures, and it can make it painful.
It causes pain, arthritic changes,
Yeah, it
things
can
like
cause things to wear out a lot quicker. So it's really important. That's probably the biggest change you can make to your walking, besides using a gait aid,
Sure.
is to strengthen those glutes or to actually walk in the ways we're going to mention.
Sure.
So check that out. Now, one of the first ways people tend to help fire off their glutes is if you actually take shorter steps.
Mhm.
If I take long steps like this, and I'm getting a ground reaction force here coming right up through the hip. It's putting more stress on my hip. But I'm using more of the hamstrings. And that's what you don't want to use the hamstrings. That can actually make your hip worse.
Sure.
So you're going to want to just shorten your stride. And the thing is, right when you step down, you should not try to hit heel to toe like this. You should try to hit right onto your arch. So you're kind of spreading out the force between the front foot and the back foot at the same time. So when you step, I'm hitting right at the same time, both ends of it, front and the back.
Yeah. So you're shortening up your step. I always think about the whole foot kind of lands flat on the ground, and it's the way to think about it.
This is a hard thing to understand, and people really have trouble picking it up, but it really makes a big difference.
Sure.
Brad and I changed our running patterns.
Right.
We used to do the same thing with running. We'd hit heel like this, and now we're hitting more forefoot or arch, and it takes the stress off your legs. They become more like shock absorbers.
Right. Exactly.
So that's the other thing. You can slightly bend your knees when you step on them. Don't be straightening your knee out. That if you have it slightly bent, that you're also doing it right. But the final thing is actually you're going to feel like you're pushing off at the back leg. You might even exaggerate it to start off with. You know what I mean? Push off the back leg.
You really need to think about this. It's
Yes,
one of those
you
things.
do.
It's not going to happen just like that.
Some people feel like they're almost falling forward because they're pushing off.
Right.
And that's actually the feeling that you want to get. I mean,
But within reason.
Within reason,
we
right.
don't want
we don't
you falling
Yeah,
forward.
so give that a try. And like we said, don't feel that you can't use a cane or a walker for a while. It's not permanent. We're just going to do the things to get you strong and get the pain calmed down so that
Exactly.
you can walk without it.
Sure.
This video is a part of a series of videos on hip pain. So like we had mentioned that you want to watch our video on how to strengthen a painful hip. That's in this series. So when you go to bobandbrad.com, go to the program section and look for hip pain.
Right.
And it's got like 30 videos on how to treat hip pain. Watch the ones that pertain to you.
Yep, just look at the title. It's pretty self-explanatory. They're all about 10 minutes long or so. If you want a PDF printout, something on paper, that's available as well, printed out, and it gives you a review of the video. It shows the exercises. It makes everything work so much easier, and there's no charge, no email, nothing. It's completely free.
Yep, it's our gift to you. Thanks for watching.
There you go. Enjoy.